Welcome to my mystery hour. I am Lisa Fulford, your creative coach, and I have some clues here. And if you get on my my Facebook page, I've been posting the clues there, or you can contact me and I will email them out. I didn't get a chance to email them out this time. I didn't have internet for 2 days, so we will get started with today's clues. So we have a cardstock base that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. That's just a normal cardstock base. And so I have that here in Night of Navy. And then we have a cardstock layer, which is is a 1/2 inch by 1 1/4 inch. And that's this one. And then it's optional for the layer behind a white circle. So there's my layer, and these are pumpkin pie. And then basic white or very vanilla. And I do have a circle that's around 2.5 inches, but you can pick whatever size that you want. And then we also have this piece that is 3.5 by 5. And the designer series paper, it's in landscape. We have a 1/2 inch by 3.5. We have a 3/4 inch by 3 5/8. And then we have a piece that is 4 1/8 by 4 3/8, and it's in portrait. So that's what mine is in. And then die cut pieces or embellishments for your card. And then optional is images that can be used as a soft background. So that is our clues. Put that off to the side, and then we'll get started with our card. So you take your card base and you fold on your 4.5 inch. I've already folded mine just to hold all my pieces, but I haven't burnished it. And then you burnish that score line. All right. So that is my card base. Then we're going to go ahead and take care of the inside piece. So this is the 3.5 by 5, and then that 1/2 inch DSP piece. What I do, I hope my glue isn't clogged, is I just take and put a line. Sure, I have to get a needle for that. I just put a line across the bottom, just a little bit up from the bottom. I leave myself about 1/4 inch, maybe 1/2 inch. My bottle keeps getting clogged up every time. I decided to put a needle here so I can unclog it. All right, so now then, I should be able to, there we go, put a small, just a little strip. I don't go clear to the edges or anything. And then we add our little piece. It's easier to put it on the cardstock than it is to put it on that piece of DSP. But if you like to putting it on the DSP, then go ahead and do it that way. We'll open this up, and I add a small strip of glue at the top. You can cover the whole thing if you want. I find little tips to make things quicker. So by just putting it at the top, makes putting that together quicker. Okay, so now we'll work on our front, and this circle is where I'm going to stamp my sentiment and different things like that. So I have some Memento Black, and the stamp set that I'm going to use is the Adventurous Sky, and I'm going to use You're the Best, plain and simple. And then I'm going to use this little plane right here. You can add more like images to the inside of your card if you want. But I like that little strip of the DSP. So I'm going to take mine, and I'm going to try to put it not exactly in the center, but close to the center. So I'll ink that up well. And then I'm going to stamp it right there. And mine's across the bottom of my sentiment is straight. Yours does not have to be, but that's going to help me whenever I place some of my other pieces. So I'm going to ink this plane up, and I'm going to have it coming down kind of like this. So that can now dry for a moment while we're putting the rest of the stuff together. All right, so these two pieces here, we're going to flag these just a little bit. So I'm going to grab my scissors, and this is a piece that you may have to trim it off whenever it's time to put it down, but I'd rather it be bigger because you can always trim away. But if you make it too small, then you can't work with it very well. So I made a little bit longer, and I'm going to clip here in the middle. Just come up just a little bit right in the center. And then I'm going to come from corner to that top of that line I just made. And from this corner to that where I just made, and make that flag. Oh, trash can, I moved it. And then I'm going to do the same with this piece of DSP. So I'm going to decide which way, like if it's images this way, mine can go either direction, but you're going to flag it on the left side. So we're going to clip that up, go from corner to the tip of it. And you could do this with any DSP and any holiday and things like that. So there's our two pieces already flagged. We're going to take this piece and add glue to the back of it. I like to do my corners so that I make certain they get adhered well, and then I go back and add just a little bit through the center and along those edges. And this is a nice little masculine card that I'm working on. Trying to scoot that up just a little bit there. I have these spatula things, and I don't have mine out of my bag yet, but you can use them to like scrape. That helps adhere your piece of DSP, especially those corners. So there's, oh, I forgot to do a piece of this one, but I will show you on my sample that I was going to flag the bottom of this, but it doesn't have to be. So I'm going to now layer my white circle onto my colored background. So this is my words in my image. And then it's going to go towards the center here. But then I also want to decide where this is going to go. So you don't want it to be up too high to where your circle shows, but you don't need, you can make it where it just barely covers that circle. So I think that looks good where I'm going to put my placement here. I'm going to hold my thumb there. Put a little bit of stuff on the back. And then I know about where I can bring it down to. Or you can put like a post-it note or your scissors or something there. I want to make certain I get it fairly straight. That looks pretty straight. Then press it down, hold it for a moment. Now I'm going to use dimensionals on the back of this. I'm going to put one on this far end. There's a gnat after me. One on this far end. Then I'm going to put a little bit of glue through the center. And you're going to line this edge up with the edge of your DSP. Like that. And then this piece, it's going to go up here at the top, but then now you can decide like where you want it. So if I want mine there, I'm going to scoot it up just a bit more so that I can flip it over, hold it in place, and then trim along with my card base. And then I can drop it down to the edge of that DSP like that. So that's what I'm going to do. I've already trimmed just a little bit off, but depending on your circle and your image, you may not need to cut anything off, or you may need to cut more. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on that. Line it up with that DSP edge and place. Oh, and then I put my, I'm usually not good about putting things away, but I have been here lately, so I got to grab my embellishments. All right, so I got to see which one that I was using. What was these? You could either, like with mine, I could either use the ones from the, these are the adhesive back dappled dots from the Duck Pond, or I could use the adhesive back swirl dots from the coffee set. And let's see. I used these on the last one. I will do this set on this card. The Paper Pixie showed this, where if you cut the side off, I've been taking the flap and tucking it in, but I still got to, well, I guess I didn't on this one. Oh, I did the side on this one. I've been tucking them in, but then it gets caught when you're pulling them in and out. So she showed how to just trim it off the side. You can pull it out to use it, and then you can slide it right back in. So I'm going to use the slider one. Come down here at the bottom, and then when I show you my sample, you'll see the difference of, it gives a little bit more. So sorry that I forgot to tell you that part. Okay, so there's that. And we'll bring these in. Put it up here. And it just, they're not the exact same color, so you can still see them. And there's that. So I've got 3 down here and 2 up there. You can add more if you want. That is, whoops, that is our mystery solved. So here it is. It's quick and easy. There's not a much, very much to it. But here's the one that I was going to show, where you just slightly go up about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch, maybe 1/2 inch, and clip, and then you come down to the center point and clip that away. And so you've got an inward banner here, and then you have an outward point on that banner. So there's that. So there's 2 different versions of that. And then here is one that I use, that new iconic paper. And so I just used a striped background and did a snowflake front. And then it says, "May your days be merry and bright." And it's a Christmas card. And you probably can't see, but added shimmer. I sprayed that shimmer mist on there. And so, you can choose which one of these that you like. So we made this one now, but if you wanted to make it again, you could do that little banner. So I'm sorry that I forgot that one, but that is our mystery. So I hope that you like this card pattern and that you will give this a try. So thank you for joining me for another mystery stamping hour. Starts say Mystery Monday, but this is definitely not a Monday, but it feels like one. So happy stamping!